Alright, really? How in the hell does a guy run 101 yards and not get touched once? It's fixed. I'm convinced that it's fixed. It has to be. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jess, your host for Mondays on the Beaver Bunch. So, it's time for Trans 101, and I'm kind of excited about it because I think it's a really important subject. It's a great topic, and even though we have Cade, our monthly trans correspondent, who's extremely insightful about the topic, I think that it's time for the rest of the Beavers to get into it and talk about it, because it's really important for us to be as educated about the topic as possible. It's important. These are our brothers and sisters, and they're just as much a part of our community as you and I are. So that's what this week is all about. Trans 101. First of all, I want to define what it means to be trans, and I found this very short definition, and maybe I hope it'll help for those that don't know what being transgender means. Basically, it's an umbrella term referring to anyone whose behavior, thoughts, or traits differ from the societal expectations for their sex, for their biological sex. So, to me, what that means is that it's not what's in your pants, it's what's in your head and how you feel about your sex. And so the first question that we're all going to answer this week is, why do you think people have such a hard time accepting those in the transgender community, even those within our own LGBTQ community? And I think it's pretty simple, for me anyways. I think that the reason why we have such a hard time accepting those in the trans community is because we just don't know. There's not a lot of education. I mean, I wouldn't even say that there's any education about the topic. And so ignorance is probably the number one reason why we don't accept those that we don't understand. So I think that that's why this topic is so important for us to discuss, because the more we understand, the more that we educate ourselves, the easier it is for us to accept others. The next part of the next question is, would you consider dating a trans male or female? Absolutely. I think I'd be a little bit more apt to dating a trans man, a trans male, than I would a trans female, but that's just my own preference, I suppose. I think that I would just be more attracted to them, and I'm not really sure why. I mean, I can explain it to you. I can try to paint a better picture for you. For me, and I think that it's just kind of a known fact, sex is on a continuum, and it's very fluid, especially for females, but sexuality is very fluid, and I myself don't necessarily consider myself to be male or female, and I don't think I fall somewhere in between. I think I fall more towards the male side of it, but I don't know that I would ever actually transition. I like being female, but I'm definitely not. I would never call myself a girl. I would never call myself a lady. In fact, I prefer to be called handsome more so than pretty or beautiful or whatever. And so, yeah, I would date a trans man. Yeah, I don't know. The next question: what if your girlfriend told you they were M to F, or told you they were planning to transition? What would you do? First of all, M to F means male to female transition, and F to M means female to male transition. So you're born biologically one sex, and you transition to the other sex. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you get top surgery, which is the removal of breasts to have a male chest, or bottom surgery. I don't know, everybody's transition is different, and you don't necessarily have to go into a doctor or go see a doctor and have something surgically enhanced or removed to feel like you've transitioned. But I was digressing just a little bit to explain to you what that means. But if my girlfriend told me that they were planning to transition, I would be supportive. There's nothing that I would do. I wouldn't like break up with them. I think it's an amazing realization to come to, and I think that the most important person to help you get through something like that is your partner. And I don't know, I have a lot of friends in the trans community, and I even have friends, or I have like couples that have had their partners transition and they've like stuck through it with them, and they're awesome, you know. I love them to death, and I think that I would be as supportive as possible and try to help them get through it. I think only because I would expect the same in return if I ever decided to transition. The next part of that question is, would you question your relationship? No. It's, to me, I mean, yes, sex is a factor, of course. I mean, you have to be sexually attracted to someone to be in a relationship with them, I think, from my own personal standpoint. I have to be sexually attracted to somebody in order to stay in a substantial relationship with them. But no, I would never question my relationship. I think that maybe that question should be, would you question yourself and maybe your orientation? And again, that's a no, but that's only for me, because I don't consider myself to be a lesbian or gay. I consider myself to be genderqueer, which is sort of an umbrella term again. I think I said that. But it just allows me to be very fluid with my own sexuality and my own orientation. So, yeah, that's it. We just had this topic, this group at the youth center that I volunteer at, and it was really good. And so I'm excited that we're talking about it this week. It's kind of an odd coincidence. But that's it. That's this topic, and I look forward to seeing what all the rest of the Beavers have to say, because it's really important. And Cade, shed some light, buddy. I know you've got some insight, so I look forward to seeing your video as well. I hope you guys have a really great week. Happy Monday. It's Monday. I gotta go to work in a few hours. But yeah, I'll see you guys next Monday.